and I wanted to get into a little bit of the defense today. I think it was maybe their worst performance overall from maybe from start to finish. Not necessarily the big plays, because I think that was and that's the kind of the reason why I say it was their worst performance, because I think most of the other games like Florida State, Toledo, so on, it was really just that big play that kind of hit him, and that was the reason they, those teams were able to put up some points. But today, I just think from start to finish, Virginia Tech was able to do things that Notre Dame doesn't typically allow. They didn't get off the field on third down specifically. They pretty much had everybody back. I mean, Kurt Hinish was playing today. They didn't really seem hampered, defensively from that standpoint. But I don't know. It was an interesting game, I think, from the defense. And I don't know, maybe it just felt early on that they just didn't have that edge to them that they typically have, and I think that played a role. They made a few plays here and there with the Bracey interception that I think got them rolling at one point, and I think that was at the point in time where me and you sort of both agreed on this earlier that was we thought Notre Dame would pull ahead and win the game. But in general, I mean, I thought this was just kind of like a mediocre showing from the defense, and I expect bigger and better things moving forward.
Yeah, I think there were a couple interesting things from the defense or the game in general. I mean, one of the most interesting things about this particular game, I think, is that Notre Dame offensively was 3 of 12 on third down. Virginia Tech was 8 of 17 on third down, and somehow Notre Dame finds a way to win the game. I mean, usually, one of the old sayings about football is, the game's won or lost on third down, and Notre Dame lost third down decisively on both sides of the football and still found a way to win, which is just almost beyond me to a certain degree. But sticking with the defense, kind of like you said, just sort of seemed like they were – I don't know. I don't want to say they were a step slow, because I don't think they looked slow, but similar to, it looked a little bit Florida State-ish at times with some sloppy tackling. There were a couple blitzes where it looked, at first glance like, oh, Notre Dame's getting home on this one. And they just didn't finish the play, and it either ends up in a throwaway or how many times on third down was Burkmeister or Burke, did I say it right? I don't even know. Gonna escape, contain, and run for yardage. I should put some more respect on that kid's name by actually saying his name correctly. I need to look that up. Burkmeister. All right. Yeah, I second guessed myself. Yeah, I knew it was Burkmeister, but for some reason when I said it, it didn't sound right. So, but anyway. And then, the play that, where Kyle Hamilton gets called for roughing the passer, that's not roughing the passer, but that was a great dialed up blitz. You feel like 90% of the time, at the very least, that's an inaccurate throw, especially by a guy that was playing with one arm at the time, it felt like. And somehow he, give him credit. He stepped in there, delivered that pass, and the Virginia Tech receiver made a big catch. It just felt like that was the tune all night, that Notre Dame was just real close to being there and just didn't play a whole awful lot. I don't know. I mean, the defense is called upon a lot, I feel like. Had to play really well at the beginning of the game to keep it close. I mean, I don't want to say that, I really don't want to say that, a whole lot of this is on the defense, because they're putting in a bad situation even before the game even starts, knowing the struggles that the offense has gone through. So, I think you're right. I don't think it was the most crisp performance from the defense. However, clearly they played well enough to win the game. And finally the offense bailed out the defense a little bit. And that's maybe the best thing about this game.
Yeah, I guess in reality, they gave up 22 points, and most of the time you give up 22 points, you're going to win the football game, regardless of, for Notre Dame's sake, regardless of how bad their offense has been in general this year. They're going to win most games when they give up 22. So yeah, no, I completely agree. Obviously, I think the biggest deal was really just the getting off the field on third down. I know that there's one play specifically. I think it led to, I don't know if it led to points, I forget, But you had the Cam Hart with didn't want to wrap up. I mean, he's going for the big hit, maybe, I don't know, or maybe he was trying to hold off and not, commit targeting or something like that, because that's just a huge thing. Which we can get into that real quick right after this. Because I do want to get into the refs a little bit. I thought it was a very poorly officiated game. I'm not usually one to say that that's, how you're going to win or lose. But I will say for a second, I thought Notre Dame was going to lose that game, and I was going to put maybe 15 to 20% of that on the referees. But no, I mean, Cam Hart, if he wraps up there, Notre Dame's off the field. Again, I forget what the score was at that specific time, but obviously huge momentum there for Virginia Tech in that regard. And then, I mean, like you mentioned, the Kyle Hamilton, I mean, I think he ended up completing that pass even off of the, even with the 15-yard penalty by Hamilton on that play. And that was a gutsy play by him. But that another one where, maybe you just need to be a little bit more stingy as a corner. And don't play so much off coverage. I mean, that could be a coaching thing as well. But just some, and like I mentioned, I wasn't like upset with the defense per se. I mean, I know when Notre Dame tied the game at 29, like I was pretty confident that the defense would get off the field. Specifically because Burkmeister I didn't think he was going to be able to lead Virginia Tech with one arm essentially down the field. I thought they would fix some of the things there and not let him run. He almost got that first down before they punted, but again, you got to get 10 yards for a reason, right? But I mean, overall, I'm not worried about the defense. I just thought it was kind of an interesting showing from them.